Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's Friday, and this is the day that the Lord has made. We're rejoicing and we're glad in it. For those of you that are coming on, please do your boy a favor. Hit that like button. Hit that share button. Tag Lolly Dolly, everybody, and let them know Mr. Next Level himself, Prophet Ramon and the squad. We are right here live in the beautiful Buckhead community of Atlanta. Please hit that like button, hit that share button, tag somebody, and be sure to put in the comments what city you're watching us from today. Welcome to the Ramonepreston Show. Welcome to the Ramonepreston Show. Welcome to the Ramonepreston Show. Hit the like button, hit the share button, tag Lolly Dolly, everybody, because we're here live right here on this Friday, and we gonna end this week strong. We gonna crush it this weekend, and we're gonna do everything that we need to do before this month is out so that we can see the next 6 months of this year extraordinary. All right, so I want you to do me a favor. Put in the comments where you're watching me from, what city you're representing. Put the name of the city in the comments that you're watching me from, okay? I'm super excited about today. For those of you that are coming on, thank you so much for continuing to support the Ramonepreston Show. Thank you for being a part of our business and our community. Thank you for listening to me, whatever it is that you do, whether you follow me on social media, whether you are part of our community, whether you are a client. I just want to say thank you so much. Now, for those of you that are just coming on, let me formally and officially introduce myself. My name is Ramonepreston. I am the host of the Ramonepreston Show, and every Monday through Friday we show up here on this show to share information with you. This information is designed to help you start, structure, and or scale your business, your ministry, your income streams, your wealth building dreams. What we do every day here at Ramonepreston Enterprises is really simple. We are business and financial consultants, coaches, and trainers. So we educate our students on business and finance. We serve our clients as consultants or coaches. We have programs. We have products that are tailored to showing you how to start holding companies, operating LLCs, nonprofit organizations. We show you how to start your church. We show you how to take your products and services to the market, how to price them. We consult and coach clients on a day-to-day basis to show them how to integrate the right systems and processes in their business. So anything that has to do with starting a business, a ministry, or if you just have an income stream that you want to start and you want to know how to structure it and you want to learn how to scale it, that's what we teach here. That's what we do. And so we use this show as an outlet to give you some of that information, to give you an idea of what we provide for our students and our clients. We have over 1,700 videos alone on YouTube. And a lot of those videos are centered around business, finances, investing, systems, processes, and everything in between. And then we have a whole platform called Ramonepreston University. And on that platform, we have programs ranging from free to $25,000 licensing programs, consulting services, coaching programs. We have an online training program called the Millionaire Blueprint. It's our signature program. So I'm not trying to just give you all this information up front. I just want you to know that when you listen to this show, you're listening to somebody who knows what they're doing. And I've done it long enough to know that what I do works because, first of all, it works for me. All right? So I know it's going to work for you. So today I really want to take some time because all week we've been sharing information with you. And what I've been talking to you about this week particularly is on how to become recession proof. Like, I don't know if you really watch the news or if you follow any trends on social media, but like everybody's saying we're in a recession. Everybody's saying we're in a recession. And if we're in a recession, then that means there's a downturn. That means there's a lack of growth. That means people are contracting. People are quote unquote on recess. And I know as an entrepreneur, as a leader, I know that you going on recess is the wrong move. This is not the time for you to go on recess. This ain't the time for you to take a break. This ain't the time for you to make the decision that, you know what, I ain't gonna do nothing right now. Now, there's some things that you shouldn't do, okay? But then there's some things you should do. And so today, I'm gonna talk to you about things to avoid and accept in a recession, okay? That's what we're gonna talk about today. There are some things that you should avoid, but then there are some things that you should accept in a recession. So there's some things you need to do, but then there are some things that you don't need to do. And I'm gonna just share with you a couple things that I think you need to avoid, all right? Because there are a lot of traps out here in the social media world, all right? I don't record all of the conversations I have with people because some of them are confidential. And even when I record one-on-one sessions with clients, I don't share that information. I may share it with them so that they can have a recording, but we don't share that with the general public. We keep a lot of that data because we want to track it. We want to go back and look through it to see what we can learn to become a better company. But a lot of information I don't share with the general public. Now, the reason why I'm bringing that up is because I talk to people all the time, and some of the things I'm going to tell you that you need to avoid are really the things that most people I talk to are actually not avoiding. This is where I get a lot of information from. Like, I want you to understand, I'm not just Googling every day before the show and then I come on here and I'm like, oh, this is a good idea. Let me talk about that. Let me sound like I know what I'm talking about. Let me make people think I'm important. No, I've run a real business here, so I know what I'm talking about. And I've been running a business. I've been an entrepreneur. I've been a church planter and a church leader and a ministry executive. So I've done both, and I do both every day on both sides of the spectrum. So whether it's business, entrepreneurship, investing, whether it's ministry, leadership, or church growth, or church planning, I've done them and I still do them every day. And I talk to people from both sides of the spectrum. And most of the times, the things that I'm sharing with you are things that I've figured out working with these people. And I bring that information to you to show you, here is how you overcome. Here is how you win. Here's how you succeed. So how many of y'all excited about that? Are you excited about today's show? Are you excited? Did you watch the show this week? Did you get a lot of that game that I shared with you this week? If you did, I want you to help me end this week strong and give me some feedback on, like, what were your biggest takeaways that we talked about this week. So today we're going to talk about things to avoid, and things to accept in a recession. So I'm going to talk about the three things. I'm just going to give you three. I could give you 300, but I'm going to give you three things in particular. Three things, okay? I'm going to give you three things. Come on, somebody. Three things to avoid. Bada bing, bada boom. Three things I want you to avoid, especially if we are in a recession right now. If this is a recession that we're in and it's going to get crazier as the days and weeks and months go, and some people are projecting that for the next year or two, things are going to be a little volatile, things going to be a little shaky, things going to be a little crazy. And we're talking about, like, in business, in your career, with your employment, with banking, with lending, with real estate, with crypto, with stocks and bonds and all these different markets. It's going to impact you. It's going to trickle down to where you at right now. So here are the three things I want you to avoid. Number one, I want you to avoid, and I'm gonna take my time with this one because I'm going to push you over the edge. I'm going to push you over the edge. Avoid scarcity. Avoid scarcity. I want you to avoid scarcity. Do you know what scarcity is? I don't know. You might not know what scarcity is. If you have another device, I want you to Google the word scarcity so you can know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay? I'm Googling the word scarcity. I know what it means, but I want you to Google it so you can see what it means. I'm going to show you what a definition is. This is what just came up. I Googled the word scarcity, this word I'm telling you to avoid, and here's what it says. The state of being scarce or in short supply. So scarcity is shortage. That's what scarcity is. Scarcity is shortage. Another word for shortage is what? Not enough. Now, if I'm telling you one of the three things you need to avoid in this recession is scarcity, what am I telling you that you need to avoid? You need to avoid shortage. You need to avoid not enough. So where does scarcity begin? Here's where scarcity begins. In your mind. Most people who live in scarcity, most people who live in shortage, most people who live in not enough are not living in scarcity financially. They're living in scarcity in their mind. This is what you have to avoid. Every time a recession comes, which they come very often, every time there's a market crash or a downturn in certain markets, or there are wars or pandemics, all these things that happen. Number one, you can't avoid these things. It's called life. You live on a broken planet. This planet is broken. It's a lot of crazy stuff going on. You can't avoid it. What you should be doing instead of trying to avoid this stuff is to be adequately prepared for this stuff. And guess what? Because these things are inevitable, because we're going to have recessions, we're going to have depressions, we're going to have financial collapses, we're going to have market crashes, we're going to have downturns, we're going to have quote unquote bear markets and bull markets. It don't matter. What you have to avoid, whatever the market is, but especially when it's a recession, you have to avoid scarcity. You cannot afford to adopt the mindset that there is a shortage. So as an entrepreneur, you cannot think there's a shortage of people. I talk to people all the time, whether they're clients, whether they're students, whether they're family, whether they're friends, whether it's just people randomly reaching out, asking questions. And every time I talk to somebody and they say, well, I can't find good people. Well, it just seems like everybody don't want to do nothing and everybody want to take something from you. I'm thinking to myself, it's in your mind. There's an abundance. What is the opposite of scarcity? If scarcity is shortage, what is the opposite? The opposite is abundance. If scarcity is not enough, what is the opposite? More than enough. So you got to get the mindset that you have more than enough. You have more than enough opportunities in this recession. You have more than enough money that you can make. There is no shortage of money. There's no shortage of opportunities. There's no shortage of deals. There's no shortage of customers. There's no shortage of clients. There's no shortage of attention. The world is open to you. And no matter how broken this planet is, no matter how broken systems and structures and economies are, you do not have to accept a mindset of scarcity. So the first thing I want you to avoid in the recession, if in fact we are in this recession, if we're not any recession, but in this recession, you need to avoid scarcity. Get that mess out your mind. It ain't no shortage. I can't find this. I can't get a loan. I can't get funding. I can't get help. It's your mindset. You're living in shortage mentally. I just ain't got enough. When people tell me, oh, I just ain't got money right now, I can't afford this. No, it's not that you can't afford it. It's that you have a mentality of scarcity, thinking that you don't have enough in your mind. Because you don't have a money problem. You don't have a people problem. You don't have an opportunity problem. I'm telling you what you have. You have a mindset problem, and your mindset is that of scarcity. So avoid scarcity at all costs. Can we agree on that? Can we agree on that? If you hear nothing else from me this week that you remember, I want you to remember this. I must avoid scarcity at all costs. And in order for me to avoid scarcity, I have to have a mindset of abundance, a mindset of more than enough. I have to start believing that there are more opportunities, more people, more money out there in this planet that I can get as long as I'm willing to go get it. Now, how I get it, where I get it, and what I use to get it is going to be dependent upon the information I learn, the training I get, the effort that I put in, and the consistency of it. But I still have to believe that there is no shortage. All right? That's number one. Second thing to avoid. Are you ready? This is a big one here. Second thing to avoid. Number two, avoid, oh, this is a big one. Come on, Google. Avoid, come on, move out my way. Number two, okay. Wow, I don't know what's going on with my board, but you better stop acting up. Avoid scams. Avoid scams. This is the second thing you need to avoid. And I want you to Google the word scam so you can know what they are. Because I'm going to Google it right here with you. Because I don't want you to take my definition. I want you to see what Google defines a scam as. A scam is a dishonest scheme or a fraud. That's what a scam is defined as. A dishonest scheme. So that's a dishonest scheme. A dishonest scheme. It's a trick used to cheat someone out of something. I want you to see that. This is what you need to avoid. Because I don't want you to have your own version and your own definition of what I'm talking about. So number one, we're going to avoid scarcity. So that means we're going to take upon the mindset that there's an abundance in this planet. There are a lot of opportunities. There's a lot of money to make. There are a lot of people to touch. There are a lot of things that we can do. We're not going to be closed-minded. Then when we open ourselves up, we want to make sure we avoid scams. What is a scam? A scam is a dishonest scheme. Now, here's the first level of scamming. The first level of scamming is you not being honest with yourself. See, I know your version of a scam is, oh, somebody's trying to get over on you from another country, or somebody's trying to get you to click a link that's going to take your personal information. That's a level of a scam, yeah. But we're talking about the scam we put on ourselves. Notice what a scam is defined as. A scam is defined as a dishonest scheme. It's a dishonest scheme. So a lot of people, especially entrepreneurs, they don't think about how dishonest they are with themselves. They don't think about how dishonest they are with themselves. I'll give you an example if you need an example. Exhibit A. Exhibit A is this. You are an entrepreneur. You know you don't know how to get to your next level. You know you don't have the information, the resources, and the tools. And you trick yourself dishonestly. You trick yourself. You see that? You convince yourself. You might not use the word trick, but you convince yourself that what you're doing is right when what you are doing is not producing results. I'm the one that's going to tell you the truth. What you're doing is scammy. You're scamming yourself. Anytime you cheat yourself, anytime you trick yourself, anytime you do not use 100% honesty with yourself about your situation, about your condition, you are scamming you. You are scamming you. And most people, I'm not going to say everybody, but most people, hear me, most people who get scammed by other people started scamming themselves first. I know you like, now you over the top with this, dog. You tripping, bruh. How you talking about somebody got scammed because they were scamming themselves? Well, it's true. If you out there looking for an easy route to get rich, you out there looking for an easy route to get further quicker. You're out there looking for ways to avoid the process. It's a scam. So when I talk to entrepreneurs today, and one of the first thing an entrepreneur tells me is, I need funding for my business. I need a loan for my business. I need credit lines. I need this. I need that. You're trying to scam yourself, because a loan and a credit line and a trade line and all this crap is not going to determine or control the narrative of your overall sales. So if somebody gave you a $100,000 loan right now and you don't know how to make money in your business, you don't know how to sell products and services, you don't have products and services to sell, you do not even have a business structured and set up the right way, at some point that 100 grand gonna be gone. And then you're gonna be stuck paying a payment for a loan on money that you don't have no more, and you still don't have a legitimate business. So whose fault is that? Is it the bank fault? Is it the lender's fault? Is it the market? Is it, oh, it's a downside? No. You scammed yourself because you were not honest. You did not take an honest approach in business. People in their personal finances, they don't take an honest approach. Like, how you gonna be upset and mad about what you can't do in your own personal financial life, but you ain't willing to change? You ain't willing to learn nothing. You ain't willing to grow. Like, I do not have a formal education. I come from the streets, okay? My background is long as I-75 and I-95. All of my teenage life I spent living in the streets, being a street hustler, selling drugs, using drugs every day, going in and out of jail. I lived like a thug, ratchet. It wasn't until I was 21 years old that I got myself together, that I got clean, I got saved, I got sober. So for the last 24 years of my life, I have been clean, I have been sober, I have been saved, sanctified, Holy Ghost filled, and fire baptized. However, it's important for me to be honest about the fact that where I was in my life was what I continued to perpetuate and allow. The moment I made the decision that I got to do better, the moment I made the decision that I got to learn something, because I didn't have an education. So when I got cleaned up at 21, I ain't have no education. The most money I ever made on a job was like $10 an hour. And it was only because they offered me 9, but they would give you 10 at this job if you opted out of insurance. That's the most money I ever made. So I knew I could make $400 a week before taxes if I worked 40 hours. So I would take everybody's days that they didn't want to work. Some weeks I was working 60 hours, 68 hours sometimes, because I needed more than just $400 a week because I couldn't make no more money. And then once I decided that I wanted to go full-time as an entrepreneur, it was really when I met my wife and we got together and she started listening to my dreams and my visions, and she was like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "What you mean?" She's like, "You need to be pursuing your dreams, bruh. The things you got in your mind are powerful, are amazing." My wife really supported me and believed in me, even when I was kind of like iffy because I didn't have a formal education. I didn't have a degree. I had a GED. I didn't have no connections. I didn't have no money. My credit was tore up. I was in check systems. I ain't have nothing, all right? But I'm saying this to show you I had to make a decision that, you know what, if I'm going to be something, if I'm going to have something, I have to be honest with myself that I don't know enough. And every time I got to the next level in my life at any point, it was because I took an honest approach and said, you don't know enough. 5 years ago, when I moved from where I was and relocated to Buckhead, Atlanta, and told my family and my church and my kids and everybody that knew me that I was walking away from everything I had going on and I was going to move to Buckhead, Atlanta, of all places. Some people were like, what's wrong with you? And when I made that decision, I knew in order for me to level up, I had to learn up. So the biggest scam most people have going on in their life is the scam that they created by being dishonest, by tricking and cheating themselves out of opportunities. So you need to avoid scams. Now, again, on the other side, you have to avoid scams because there are a lot of people on social media right now today who acting like they do. I just watched a video this morning and this guy was on there talking about how wealthy he was. And when he started, like putting up the information on how wealthy he was saying he was a millionaire, blah, blah, blah. And I listened to him. He had like a 10-15 minute video and I'm listening to him. And then he was a millionaire. It was all in crypto and Bitcoin and stuff. And I'm not saying it's not legit, but what I am saying is it ain't sitting in no bank account. And what I am saying is you're by yourself. He's just a solopreneur. So he hadn't built no business. He ain't got no employees. He ain't like, come on, bruh. And I'm not saying he ain't legit, but all I'm saying is you need to avoid scams. You need to avoid just clicking on people's link and ain't doing no research on who they are. That's one of the reasons why in all of my programs that I have, that I sell, I'm talking about business and financial coaching and consulting and training programs. I provide opportunities for all of my clients or all of my program members or mentees to visit my headquarters and spend time with me and my team and ask questions to literally see in real time what I'm doing here every day and what I'm building. I don't mind. My life is an open book. I take pride in the fact that I can show people I'm successful. I take pride in the fact that I can let people pull up my name and look under the hood of my life and my business and my ministry, and they ain't gonna see no scams. They ain't gonna see nothing shady. And so I'm gonna be more bold, more over the top. I'm gonna be more louder when I know I'm doing everything right and I know I pay the price to get to where I'm at because I'm avoiding scams. That's number 2. All right? I hope you got the memo. Number 3, the third thing to avoid. Man, I'm giving y'all some good game today. Third thing. Number 3, avoid stalls. Avoid stalls. Do you know what a stall is? We're going to look that up too. We're going to look up the word stall, okay? Matter of fact, if you have any comments, I want you to put it in the comment so we can see where you at with it. All right, let's look up the word stall. Let's see what a stall is, because I want you to avoid them. What is a stall? Come on, Google. Let's see if it's giving me what a stall means. Ooh, I seen a good one. This is Merriam-Webster here. Ooh, what is Merriam-Webster calling a stall? Merriam-Webster says a stall means to distract attention or make excuses to put off. Man, If you listen to me, you're going to succeed in this recession. I guarantee you will. See, I learned my lesson. I wasn't ready in 2008. I wasn't mentally prepared. I didn't have the right information. I didn't have the right habits. I didn't have the right discipline. I had everything wrong 14 years ago in 2008. And me and my wife was a two-person real estate team. We was waking up every day, hustling, grinding, working our butts off, trying to have something. And we were building now. It wasn't like we wasn't building. We was starting to live a good, decent life, but we didn't have the things we knew we could have had based on our potential, because we didn't have the right information, and it's a whole lot of things we didn't have, okay? So here's the third thing you need to avoid. You need to avoid stalls. How do you avoid, what is a stall? Well, a stall means to distract attention or make excuses to put off. Let me move this and let me just make this a third definition right here. So it means to put off. Okay? It means to put off. So it means to distract attention. So when there's a stall, somebody's trying to stall you. You need to avoid stalls, because there are things right now going on that are designed to distract your attention. Here's a stall. Here's a distraction here. Social media got so much going on, and now all of a sudden you say, I'm gonna just wait to start doing this in 2023. I'm gonna wait till this blow over. That's a stall. Well, I can't do it right now. I talk to people all the time. They tell me, well, I can't start getting trained right now. I can't start getting coached. I can't start learning how to build a business because right now, here's what I'm doing. You're stalling. That's what you're doing. You're making excuses. You're putting off what you should be doing now to do at a later time, and you're going to suffer. You're going to lose. As an entrepreneur, as a business owner, don't take my words wrong. I'm not like condemning you. I'm just telling you, like, from a business perspective or a financial perspective, you're going to lose if you stalling. You cannot contract in a contraction. You got to lean in, and you got to be able to lean in with the right information, with the right daily habits, with the right efforts, with the right people, doing it over and over and over again so that you can get so far ahead. There are a lot of people who are going to be stuck and worse off in a year or two than they are now just because of stalls. They're going to let other things distract their attention. They're going to make excuses. It's always a reason. The dog ate my homework. That's an excuse. The dog ate my homework. Well, you don't understand my situation. Well, I'm just sick right now. I'm going through something. And I say that out of respect, because there's some things that people go through with their health that you just can't help but do it. But let me tell you something. I've been through a lot of health challenges myself. And I'm not talking about a lot of health challenges that are, like life or death health challenges. I'm just saying, like, in general, a lot of people use my back hurt type of health challenges. I got a toothache. I ain't feeling good. All these are just excuses. You cannot use stalls and think you're going to succeed. You just gotta avoid these things. And if you don't know how to avoid these things, it's really because you don't have the right mindset and you're not around the right people. Now you gotta go back to the first thing I told you to avoid. You gotta first of all avoid scarcity. Then you got to avoid scamming yourself, and then you got to avoid stalls. Don't make excuses. Those are the three things you need to avoid, okay? Do you have them? I'll give them to you one more time. 3 things to avoid in a recession. Scarcity, number 1. Scams, number 2. Stalls, number 3. And here's the good thing about it. A lot of people are doing all 3 to themselves. Like, the world don't got to do nothing to you. Your haters ain't got to do nothing to you. The devil ain't got to do nothing. The competition ain't got to do nothing to you. Because most people doing this to themselves. They have a scarcity mindset. They think small. They think everything is limited. They think there's a shortage. It ain't enough money. It ain't enough gas. It ain't enough food. It ain't enough toilet paper. It ain't enough help. It ain't enough people. It ain't enough opportunities. All of this is scarcity, scarcity, scarcity. It's a bunch of baloney. I don't believe it. Even if it is that, I'm not believing it. I'm not accepting that. I'm not going to accept that. Especially as a man of God, I'm not accepting that. My father owns 1,000 cattle on a hill. Or how does the scripture say? A cattle on 1,000 hills? My father owns it all. Okay? I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And I know that there's an abundance inside of me. Greater is he that's in me than he that's in the world. The Bible says, now unto him, God, who is able to do exceedingly, abundantly, above all I could ask or think, according to the power that works inside of me. That ain't no scarcity mentality. Especially as a Christian, you around here saved, you got the Holy Ghost, you read the Bible, you pay your tithes, you go to church, you love God, you love his people, you serve the community, and you around here with a small scarcity mentality? No, I'm not thinking like that. I'm not going to think like that. I'm going to believe that Bible. I'm going to believe that God has given me more than enough. He has given me an abundance of opportunities. He has given me the opportunity to live in this world, and the earth is the Lord's, the fullness thereof, and those that dwell therein. I do not have scarcity, and I'm not accepting it. That's the mindset you got to have. And you have to avoid scams. And the biggest scam is the dishonest trick that we put on ourselves. We're not honest with ourselves. One of the worst things a person can do, especially do to me, because I hate it with a passion. One of the worst things a person could do is not be honest with themselves. It's crazy. Like, I'm a realist. I'm very honest with myself. And I just hate, I cut the crap with myself. I get rid of the crap, man. I just want to be straight up. If I'm a mess, I need to know I'm a mess, and I need to be honest, because then I can fix it. But a lot of people can't fix their situation financially or in their business or in their career because they're not honest. They're not looking at themselves in the mirror and saying, you know what? I'm where I am because I want to be here. I'm where I am because I'm lazy. I'm where I am because I just refuse to learn anything. Now, for all of you woke folk that's watching this video saying, this dude is so out of touch, you tripping, bro. Let me just say this. I'm not talking about the systemic issues that we as black people face on a day-to-day basis. So I don't deny that there are systems and infrastructures and systemic things that have been set up as traps to keep us as black people down. I am aware of that. But my awareness of that still doesn't rid me, right? Or give me a free pass to not be responsible for the things I can change. Okay, that's the Serenity Prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, and the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. So I know the difference between the things I can't change and the things I can. I can't change the fact that I'm black living in the United States of America. I can't change the fact that there are some rooms I walk into and people still gonna look at the color of my skin. I know that. I can't change the fact that there are certain strategic systems and infrastructures that are built to keep people like me, who look like me, who've been through what I've been through, down. I got it. Okay, good. But now what can I change? I can change what I do with my time. I can change what I put in my mind. I can change what I learn. That ain't stopping me from reading a book. That ain't stopping me from Googling. And I'm not saying that what I learn and do is going to work. But what I am saying is I can control certain narratives of my life. And so we got to be mindful of those things so that we're not scamming ourselves. Okay? And then you need to avoid stalls. Those are things you need to avoid. Now, let me give you 3 things you need to accept. Oh my God. 3 things you need to accept in a recession? Man, that was good. I kind of preached a little bit to y'all. What are the 3 things you need to accept in a recession? What do you think? Here's what you need to accept. You need to accept new information and opportunities. You need to accept that there's new information and new opportunities available to you and I. The way a lot of markets are set up today, I'm talking about like in the business world, in the financial world, the way markets are set up today, you don't necessarily have to physically go into a bank. You don't have to physically go to a stockbroker. You don't have to physically visit a piece of real estate. You don't have to physically go to the Secretary of State or to the City Hall and fill paperwork out and deal with the biases or the delays or the blockers or the gatekeepers. We're in a new world. So there's new information available. Okay? There are new opportunities available that regular blockers and gatekeepers can't keep away from you. We've got this thing called the internet now. All right? Like most of the people that I have relationships with today, most of the people that I do business with today, most of the people that are clients and students in my university, like I got people who are clients in my mentorship program, my coaching program, consulting business, who are students on my online university. I've got clients that are in other parts of the world. I've never even been out of the country before. And I got people on my online programs that are not even in the United States of America. I've never met them. I've never talked to them. Okay? And when I do talk to some of them periodically, they talk to me like they've known me for years because we converse on a day-to-day basis. They see me every day on TV and social media and ads and all these platforms. They see me on my training platforms. They listen to me. They watch me. Their lives are changing because of what I'm giving to them. Guess what? Those are new opportunities that have come from new information. So you have to accept new forms of information. Whatever you know about business, whatever you know about ministry, whatever you know about marriage, whatever you know about health, whatever you know about people, whatever you know about money, if it's not progressing you into more success, into more positive results, what you know is old information. You need new information. You got to understand what I'm saying. You got to get informed with new stuff because your opportunities are probably tied to your information. So if I don't have new information, I probably don't have new opportunities. You got to get new information. All of you entrepreneurs, you regurgitating the same old crap and it ain't helping your business because you're not learning nothing new. Now you say, well, in order for me to get new information, I got to pay money again. I got to redo it. So who don't? You act like you the first person that got scammed. You act like you the first person that had to go and do stuff all over again. Everybody does it. Everybody has to do it. But if you don't do it, you go back to the stall. You got to get new information. You got to accept new information and new opportunities. Here's the second thing you need to accept in a recession. Here's a 4-letter word. That's a good 4-letter word. You need to accept help. You need to accept help. I have never in my life seen a bunch of cocky, arrogant, prideful people who ain't got nothing like I have just in the last 4 or 5 years. I've seen it before, but the last 4 or 5 years since I've turned towards success, since my whole life took a turn, man, you know, people always say stuff like, you'll know where somebody is and who they is when they get successful. Let me tell you something. When you get successful, you'll know who people are and where they are. So it goes both ways. So people can look at you and say, oh, we see what kind of person you is now. Now that you successful, you done changed, dog. You ain't the same dude you used to be. Bruh, what happened? No, I didn't change. I grew. But then I can look on the other hand and say, wow, people show you who they are when you get successful. They start hating on you for no reason. They start rejecting you. They start turning their backs on you because they do not want to accept the fact that you can actually help them get further than where they are. So the second thing you got to do is you have to accept help. You have to accept help. If you do not accept help, like you're going to be stuck. So what kind of help do you need to accept? Well, you need to accept help in your business. If your business ain't growing, if your finances are not growing, if those are areas of your life that you know you want to grow, you just need help in it. You just need help in it. That's all you need to do. You need to accept help, all right? Now, accepting help also means you need to accept people. You need to accept processes. You need to accept systems. These are things that you need to accept. You need to accept infrastructures. These are the three things that you need to accept. So I told you to avoid. What did I tell you to avoid? Three things. Avoid scarcity. Avoid scams. And avoid, what was the third one we talked about? Avoid scarcity, avoid scams. What was my third one? I was running my mouth so much. Stalls. Couldn't remember that one. Avoid stalls. But then I told you to accept new information and opportunities. You got to start accepting new information and opportunities. Everything that you are not familiar with probably feels uncomfortable to you. People you're not familiar with, okay, they're going to be uncomfortable. So you have to accept new information and opportunities. Now, why is this important? Here's why. You cannot be comfortable accepting any kind of help from any person, any place, or anything if you have not been open to accept new information and new opportunities. This is what brings you to help. Like some of the greatest help I've gotten from people in places that are doing things came as a result of me getting new information, and that information opened me up to new opportunities, and because I took the opportunities, I found help. Me and my wife was just talking about this yesterday, and I was telling her, like, I'm at such a place of peace, and I've been here for maybe a year or two now, because once I pivoted into a new role in my organization, in my church, and in my business, once I pivoted into my new role within the last 3 years, it took me about a year to get acclimated. So it wasn't until like 2020 that I started finding my rhythm. Once I started finding my rhythm, I was like, oh, wow. But it was because of the new information I started taking in. That information opened me up to opportunities. Now I see things differently. I see people differently. I see places. Now I want to get out of my box, and I want to get away from the same people, and I want to learn new things, and I want to experiment new things. And those opportunities put me in front of the right people in certain places doing things that gave me the help I needed. And I realized that my frustration that I had in the past, and a lot of my disappointment, a lot of my distress, and a lot of the pressure that I put myself under was because I kept hitting brick walls. I didn't have the help I needed. Once I got around people who could show me how to be successful, who could show me a path, I was like, man, I got this. Because now all I needed to do is to keep feeding that information, accepting the opportunities, and accept the help, and put it to work. And that's what I've been doing for the last couple of years. And then once you start doing that, now you have to accept people. This, especially if you're an entrepreneur, this is the game changer. You got to accept people. So my company right now, we are a team of, how many full-time employees are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we got 5 full-time people that are on my team right now. 5 full-time employees. I'm proud of that because that's a lot for somebody who come from nothing. I mean, just out of the air, for somebody to create something that I got. I'm proud of that. I don't care what nobody else thinks. I'm proud of what I've accomplished to have 5 full-time employees whose families and whose lives depend on me. It's 5 of us, okay? But guess what? Me and my wife was just talking yesterday, and I'm telling her, I need to get to 10. And she's like, for real? I say, I got to get to 10. I got to get to 10. Because all I'm doing is getting new information, new opportunities, paying for more help. See, I put all my money where my mouth is. I pay for more help. And guess what? When I pay for more help, I get new people. I figure out new processes. I get new systems. And I build a better infrastructure. Like, this stuff starts turning into like this success formula, if I'm making sense. So I just gave you some game on 3 things you need to avoid and 3 things you need to accept in this recession. I hope that all of the things I've shared with you this week will bring some enlightenment to you. I hope the things that I've shared with you this week will inspire you and motivate you. And I would love to get some feedback from you. I would love to know how the show is helping you, how it's giving you not just like inspiration and motivation and excitement and encouragement, but how is it giving you like the mechanics and the techniques that you can implement in your business. Because I'm a man of faith. I'm a man of prayer. I love God. I love his people. I've been a full-time preacher, full-time minister, full-time leader in the church for 22 years, over 22 years, full-time. Never took a break, never checked out, never fell off, and I'm still running for Jesus, still serving the church and the community. I've been a full-time entrepreneur with my wife for 18, almost 19 of those 22 years, okay? Even though I was an entrepreneur prior to my wife, but I wasn't full-time. So I'm not gonna give myself credit for something I can't give myself credit for. I worked a regular job up until 2001 when I was fired. And then I started going into entrepreneurship in 2002. So I could say technically I've been an entrepreneur for 20 years. I mean, I could give myself that 1.5 year pass. I've been a full-time entrepreneur for 20 years because I technically started my first business in 2002, January of 2002, me and a friend of mine. And it was both of us that was running the business, and we ran it up until the time I got married and left Florida and moved here to Georgia. So anyway, I hope I've brought some value to you. If there's any questions that you have, if there's anything we can help you with, I want you to give me a call. I want you to reach out to me. If you are interested in being a part of my mentorship program, if you feel like you need a business and financial, spiritual coach and mentor in your life, helping you with the spiritual things, with the financial things, with the business things, and even the personal things, I would love for you to join our Millionaire Mentorship Program. It's a 1-year program, and we do everything for you. I mean, literally, we train you on business. We train you on entrepreneurship. We show you how to start and structure and scale your business, your finances. We help assess your situation to put a game plan together. We give you access to one-on-one coaching sessions with me. We give you access to our weekly coaching calls, to our quarterly masterminds. You have access to our millionaire concierge who are always available through text, email, calls. We give you access to our headquarter days so that you could come here in person and join us to learn the ins and outs of how to run a 7-figure business. And guess what? We also give you access to 4 VIP workshops for sales, marketing, operations, and financial systems. As a matter of fact, this Saturday, tomorrow, right here in our Buckhead boardroom, I'm hosting a VIP sales workshop. It's exclusively for our mentees. So if you're in any of our coaching or consulting programs, you get access to our VIP workshop. So we're going to be teaching on sales tomorrow, and we're going to be helping our people, showing them how to get out in the marketplace and make some money. So if you want to join me, all you have to do is, you already know, text a milli to your boy. Text millionaire right there, baby. Text a milli to 404-478-7213. Because that's what I want you to be. That's what your target should be. Like, your target should be a millionaire. Period. Point blank. Man, today was good. This has been amazing. This week has been amazing, y'all. And I hope you all have enjoyed it just as much as I've enjoyed it. If you need more information for anything that we've talked about today or this week on the show, you already know all you got to do is just reach out to me, and I'll be more than happy. I'll be more than happy to share anything I can share with you, whether it's for your church, your ministry, your nonprofit, your foundation, your network, your business, your organizational enterprise, your finances, whatever it is that you're doing, investing, your family wealth building, we cover it all. Love y'all. Have an amazing weekend, and I'll see you back here Monday, same place, same time, on the Ramonepreston